What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your $1,400 third stimulus check update and stimulus package update. In this video, we're going to give you the latest information on the third stimulus check package, where it is. It's already passed the U.S. House of Representatives, and it now goes to the Senate. We're going to hear the latest details of that, as well as what might need to happen to finally pass this and get the check in your account, and how quickly we can get that done. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new updates. We cover other things on this channel also, as well as the student loan forgiveness and the Social Security increase of $200 per month, $10,000 or more of student loan forgiveness, which President Biden has said he is willing to do. That will likely happen right after they pass the third stimulus check package, as well as the next stimulus package that has already been announced called the Build Back Better package that is coming next. That is expected to be even more money than this package at $2 to $3 trillion, as well as the obviously third stimulus check package, which is $1,400 for adults, $1,400 for children, and $1,400 for adult dependents this time around. The dependents, whether you're a child dependent or an adult dependent, those checks will go to the person who claims them, the adult or the parent who claims them, as well as $3,000 to $3,600 child stimulus checks that are included in this package. This is an increase of the child income tax credit. So basically anybody who has children over the age of 6 through 17 will get an additional $3,000 per child in addition to the $1,400 stimulus checks. Those will be paid in monthly increments of $250 per month per child starting this summer. After they pass this package, I'll be walking you guys through how to claim that when it becomes available, as well as $3,600 for children under the age of 6, or $300 per month. Joe Biden says that this will, President Joe Biden says that this will take 54% of children out of childhood poverty. So 54% of children that are currently in childhood poverty will be lifted up out of that simply to this one stimulus package alone. And again, there's another one coming after this called the Build Back Better package. So make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't yet. Give us a thumbs up down below and let's jump right in. First, let's go to Republican Senator Bill Cassidy on the third stimulus check package.
Let's turn to coronavirus relief. The House just passed a $1.9 trillion package. I know you think it is too much money. There is a lot in here, though, that you do support: direct payments to Americans, money for vaccinations. It appears it won't include a $15 minimum wage hike, which you opposed. Are you open to voting yes on that plan?
I have no clue how it'll come out of the Senate. Republicans have not been involved. I listened to Press Secretary Jen Psaki speaking about how we've been listened to. I started laughing. That is such a joke. You can find one thing perhaps where, oh my gosh, we will get criticized on that, so we'll adapt. But the reality is that they put forward a package which reflects the interests of the Democratic constituencies that elected the president. Yes, it has things for broader Americans, but much of it is only for those. I can give you the examples. $112 million for the San Francisco transit system. Now, where did that come from? And so reality is that we have something which addresses concerns that Republicans and all Americans have, but disproportionately benefits those of one party. We started off in it together. It ends up being but we're going to take some off the top for our folks. That's not a way to proceed. I'm sorry, this is the direction they're going.
You said it's a joke that President Biden is listening to, but you were one of 10 Republican senators who met with President Biden in the White House. Has the president or anybody in the White House given you any indication at all that they're open to any negotiations?
No. And as you may recall, it was reported afterwards that as President Biden would be speaking to us, his staff would be in the background shaking their head no. As a signal to him as to, no, don't concede on this point. So that's too bad. We've had 5 different COVID relief packages, which passed overwhelmingly on a bipartisan basis. All 5 when President Trump was president and Republicans controlled the Senate. We have demonstrated that we can come together in a way in which the interests of all Americans are represented, and you come up with a better package than if you only have one party's interest represented. My fear, this becomes a Trojan horse for things which actually injure our country. Left-of-center economists Democratic economists like Larry Summers have pointed to the danger that this will ignite inflation. Igniting inflation, which hurts middle-income families, working-class families, chewing up their savings. This can be the Trojan horse that destroys the future for families, but it sneaks in because it gives these initial benefits. That's my concern. It would have been better had they actually listened to us, in fact, as opposed to merely in rhetoric.
So that is the Republican point of view. That is Republican Senator Bill Cassidy on why the Republicans are not going to vote for the third stimulus check package. Remember, the Democrats are passing this package without any Republican support at all. We've seen that in the House of Representatives that passed about 48 hours ago on Saturday morning. It passed in the U.S. House of Representatives, 219 yeses, which were all Democrats, to 212 no's, which was every single Republican said no. Not a single Republican voted yes on the third stimulus check package. 2 Democrats also voted no, and they passed it in the House of Representatives, which now goes to the Senate. And as you've seen there, Bill Cassidy thinks the $15 an hour minimum wage is dead and will not be in the third stimulus check package. And there's some interesting new information on that. There is some new information on this, kind of some coming out of the rumor mill a little bit, that senior Democrats have abandoned their backup plan, known as the Plan B, on $15 minimum wage, where they were going to raise pay for workers through tax penalties on corporations and also have a tax subsidy for small businesses that did pay $15 an hour. This was a way to make the $15 an hour minimum wage affect the budget and then have the Senate parliamentarian rule that it can be passed through the reconciliation process. As you can see here, but now senior Democrats, including Wyden and Bernie Sanders, are walking away from that backup effort, according to 2 people who spoke on the condition of being anonymous to share internal discussions. So yeah, this is kind of some new information that's coming out. I don't want to hold this set in stone, but it looks like there's the possibility that the Democrats could be dropping their Plan B for the $15 an hour minimum wage. So if this holds true and they don't try to amend the wording, they still have a couple other possibilities. Number one is they could just try to overrule the Senate parliamentarian and leave it as is, although that seems a little unlikely also because I don't think they'll get all the votes from the Democratic senators, mainly Democratic Senator Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema probably will not go for that. Okay. So at this point, it looks like, based on this brand new information, which could obviously change. And again, that's an anonymous source, so I'm not going to say to you that this is the be all end all and this is for sure going to happen. I will keep you updated as we get more information. But it looks like the most likely path now, if all this holds true, is that they might be taking the minimum wage out of the bill completely and then going to try to pass it right after. I do expect that right after this bill passes, and the dust kind of settles, that we're going to see if that happens. That'll probably be one of the first things in line, is passing a minimum wage bill on its own, a standalone bill. They could put it as part of the infrastructure bill next time around, but I see the same kind of restrictions there and pushback. So what they would need to do, and if they take this out, they'll probably do this right after. It'll be one of the first bills they try to pass after, will be to increase the minimum wage with a bipartisan support, meaning getting Republican support. There are several Republicans that are for a 15, I shouldn't say that are for a raised minimum wage of $10 to $11 an hour. We actually have Senator Josh Hawley, who's been one of the champions from the Republican side for the additional checks. He campaigned with Bernie Sanders. They had a bipartisan effort there for the $600 checks. Those $600 checks were actually zero. There was no second stimulus check. They were going to pass a bill without that. And they ended up getting the money from the states and cities and gave it to you guys with the $600 checks. And then he pushed with Bernie Sanders, along with former President Donald Trump, to increase those to $2,000 with $1,400 more. And that's basically now what we're getting in the third stimulus check package. The Republican Senator Josh Hawley said he's actually in favor of $15 an hour minimum wage, but only for large companies that make over $1 billion with a couple restrictions. We also have Republican Senators Mitt Romney and Tom Cotton that have their own counter proposal for $10 an hour minimum wage. wage. Now remember, $10, $11 an hour minimum wage is still a 50% increase from the $7.25 minimum wage right now. So if they have to take this part out, it'll actually make it past the Senate faster. Then they'll go to pass this afterwards, and they'll probably have to pass it at around $10 or $11 an hour to get 10 votes from the Republicans if they end up going that route. Republicans, they'll probably be able to get Republican support if they do it at $10 or $11 an hour. Remember, they're going to need 60 votes if they take this out and pass it through a traditional way. We do have Democrats pushing to remove the complete Senate filibuster. That's the rule that requires 60 votes. It used to actually be 67 votes, but they found out it was way too hard to get any bill that wasn't unanimous consent with 100% passed with 67%. It was just way too hard. 60% is still pretty hard too. And Democrats do have an option in the future to eliminate the filibuster rule completely. It's a whole process they'll have to go through. But if they do that, every single bill, stimulus bills and any other type of bill, period, could be passed with a simple majority of 51 votes, which at the current time could be passed by the Democrats. Remember, they have 50 votes. There's 50 Republicans. If the Democrats all say yes and the Republicans all say no, then it's a tiebreaker. And the 50 votes, again, gets a tiebreaker vote from the vice president, who is Kamala Harris, who would vote with the Democrats, which is actually exactly what we've seen happen, 51 votes through the reconciliation process, which was kind of the preliminary process to the third stimulus check package. That is exactly how they passed that kind of extra part of the package at the beginning half, that they had to do these extra steps because there's no Republican support. So we did see that exactly happen. All 50 Democrats said yes to the reconciliation process, and then the Kamala Harris stepped in and was the 51st vote. So it did actually happen exactly that way, just like a week or two ago when they passed it for the reconciliation process, which is kind of the extra process that they need to do to pass this package. Now the House has passed it. Now it goes back to the Senate to pass it the final time. And if they have to amend the package, if they can't include the $15 an hour minimum wage, that's not a big deal, because once the Senate passes it, they'll send it directly over to the House and they'll just literally vote on it right away. I've seen them in the past where they actually vote on it in the exact same day, depending on how quickly the Senate passes. If the Senate passes it at 2 a.m. in the morning, like the House of Representatives did, well, then they'll vote on it the next day. But like worst case scenario, it's only about a 12-hour delay, and in the big scheme of things, that's really nothing. So don't worry about the delay if they have to amend the bill or change the bill in the Senate. Really, the most important thing is just passing it in the Senate, which they're ultimately going to do one way or another. The real question is, are they going to pass it with the $15 an hour minimum wage? Can they get all the votes? Are they going to amend the wording? Are they going to try to go away from the Senate parliamentarian? Or are they just going to pass it without the minimum wage and then worry about that after? What I think will happen after, right after this bill passes and the dust settles and everybody kind of breathes a sigh of release that the checks are going out, the child stimulus checks are going out, the unemployment $400 per week is going out, the money for SNAP, WIC, and EBT, the mortgage and rental assistance, and all those good things are starting to go out. Then they're going to be like, all right, cool, we're done with that. What's the next thing on the docket? Minimum wage bill, $10,000 or more in student loan forgiveness bill, or executive order. And Social Security increase, $200 per month. Joe Biden championed this when in his campaign. He said $200 per month is one thing he wants to do, as well as increase 20% Social Security benefits for widows or widowers, and a 5% bonus for people that have been on Social Security for over 20 years. What he wants to do is he wants to create an additional Social Security tax for people that make over $400,000 per year to pay for these bonuses. Right now, they don't pay anything on that high of. There's a cap that you only pay Social Security up to. So he wants to basically reapply that Social Security taxes to people that make over $400,000 per year, and that would pay for these increases. Also, I personally expect in the future that Social Security is supposed to run out for like year 2036 or something like that, 15 years from now. I personally wouldn't fear that at all, because when that comes around, you know what they're going to do? They're just going to pass another stimulus package to fund that. They'll pass a $2 or $3 trillion stimulus package and just give it to Social Security. Just like literally, this bill alone is $2 trillion. The last bill alone was $1 trillion. The first bill, the first stimulus package was $2.3 trillion. I mean, they're passing trillions of dollars left and right. So who's kidding who? When Social Security time comes 15 years from now, or 14 years from now, when they're about to run out of money, they'll just pass a stimulus package and just give the money to Congress right then. I'm sure they might tweak some things here or there, like the current proposal to pay for these raises by adding a Social Security tax to people that make over $400,000 per year. Tweaks like that, they've tweaked the age going down that you can claim full benefits and stuff for. I don't know if they'll do that again, but I fully expect them to pass a stimulus package in the future, probably 15 years from now or 10 years from now when they start to run out. If I still have my YouTube channel and I'm still bringing you guys this kind of awesome news, then make sure to check out that video 10 or 15 years from now. But for the time being, you can just subscribe down below. It's completely free. This way you won't miss out on videos on the third stimulus check package, the fourth package, and all these other things that we cover on this channel. New videos come out every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., 8 p.m., and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Share this video with your family and friends so that they know about these packages also. I will keep you updated. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start selling products on Amazon FBA and start your own business. I have dozens of students that have replaced their 9-to-5 income selling products on Amazon, and I teach them how to do that. Click on one of those videos to watch them next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.